Hello, my name is Simon and welcome to AFC Bournemouth Analysis. Here's my take on our last gasp win at Newcastle United. Well, I mean, what is there to say? I was at the game and it was an amazing end. Obviously, we scored in the 92nd minute through Steve Cook and the scenes at the end were just amazing. The biggest positive is that it was such a big 3 points, especially heading into a 2-week international break. And also, it's the first of many games that I think we have, a chance of winning after a reasonably hard run-in of fixtures. Defensively, we were pretty good throughout. Nathan Ake and Steve Cook were two of the highlights, along with Asmir Begovic making some great saves in the first half where we were under the cosh. Obviously Steve Cook popped up with the winner, but Nathan Ake was composed. Near the end he was pushing forward as well. There was a great driving run he made near the end where he won a free kick out the box, and that just showed weaknesses in certain areas of our team. But defensively, the two centre-backs were excellent. We got some luck for once. Decisions went our way. We got obviously there was Gale's goal was onside, but it was disallowed for offside, so we got a bit of luck there. But I think we deserved that after some bad luck earlier in the season, like against City at home, where we should have got a point, but were denied by a poor officiating decision. Wilson and King also played up top together, and they looked pretty effective. It took them a little while to get going, but then in the second half, Callum Wilson in particular was running the channels, which we don't really have with players like Benik Afobe and Jermaine Defoe. They just don't do that. So he was definitely stretching their defence, which took pressure off our defence. And yeah, there was a lot of positives from Saturdays, but definitely the biggest was that we won. It takes us out of the relegation zone, and yeah, it's huge. In terms of the bad, I kind of alluded to it earlier, but the first half we were pretty shocking across the board, apart from two centre-backs. Midfield, Andrew Sermon and Harry Arter just didn't impose themselves on the game in any way. They weren't physical enough, they didn't pass the ball forward or was there any real positivity. And in the end, it looked like our strikers and the defence, and there wasn't anything in between really making a big difference. And there was too much reliance on the old guard, Simon Francis, playing in right back when he's clearly done in that position. He can't play it. Christian Atsu constantly did him for pace, and he looked like he had an error in him. He almost made a terrible error near the end of the game, actually, to give away a goal, but we got away with it. And it's bizarre because obviously Adam Smith is the far better right back at this time. Maybe in the past Frano was better than him, but for right now Adam Smith deserves to play right back, and it feels like Francis is just playing because he's the captain and therefore Howe can't drop him. And yeah, and then on the wing, Mark Pugh just doesn't look like he really has it. Obviously he had a great chance at the end, but in general he wasn't really in the game much. He didn't really make many things happen. And he definitely doesn't look like a player that should be in the starting 11. Yeah, and that's a bit worrying. But the good thing is that we still won despite that. But, I mean, Eddie Howe needs to start playing the best 11 he has. And Harry Arter as well was poor. He got going a bit near the end of the match when, we were really pushing forward for a winner, which I think we deserved just about in the end of the day. But yeah, there's just too many players in the team, getting in the team, that just clearly aren't good enough or aren't playing well enough to justify a position in there. So that needs to be sorted out.
"2,000 years later."
Outrageous.
You have to ask, really. It's obvious, the last minute winner, the absolute scenes at the end. I was just hugging strangers, screaming. It was amazing. You're really up in the heavens at the Newcastle away end, so the pitch is tiny. It looks like you're playing a video game from the 1980s, the ones with the bird's eye view, and yeah, it was amazing scenes at the end there, and we really were pushing for that winner. The last 20 minutes we were all over Newcastle. We hit the post. We just looked like the team that really wanted to win it. Newcastle are a solid defensive outfit, but yeah, they just didn't know how to deal with us in that last 20 minutes, and I think we just about deserved it. We were poor in the first half, but I think we were better than Newcastle were good in the first half. We were better in the second half compared to how good Newcastle were in the first. That's what I was trying to say in an incredibly fudged way. So yeah, quite a few people have got in touch. Thanks so much for that. Couple on Twitter. The first, Brendan Guy, who said, "Luck kept us in the game first half, but we upped our performance second half and deserved the win. Not at our best though." That's pretty much what I said, I think, in the last few minutes. We definitely weren't at our best, but hopefully this performance, this result more than performance, gives us some much needed momentum, and we really need to beat Huddersfield at home now in 2 weeks' time to really build on that. And I think it's a winnable game. I think, as long as we change a couple of the players, keep Wilson and King up top as the front two, hopefully we can really build from this result. Next, AFCB Jamie said about the scenes in the away end, Bedlam. Heart attack imminent springs to mind. It was just crazy. I think I've only seen 2 last minute winners for Bournemouth in away games, and the last one was Warsaw away. It was 2-2. Steve Fletcher headed in like the last kick of the game, and I went mental and almost fell down the stairs of the away end at the Bescott. But this was just sensational. Such a huge, wonderful stadium, Newcastle. It's a great city. I stayed the weekend, and it was great. The people there are great. The Newcastle fans were actually quite quiet, but I think they went into the game expecting to win, and they definitely didn't get that. Although in the first half, it did look like we were there just to be beaten. But yeah, it was a great weekend, and the match just made the huge journey worthwhile. Next, Rob Hearn got in touch on Facebook, and he said, "Super pleased with this result." Yeah, I am too, Rob. Great result. And finally, you may remember I interviewed Glenn Fox, the Newcastle United fan, in an Opposition View video. You probably don't remember it because that didn't get many views, but in case you did, I was fortunate enough to get his thoughts on the game, because I was there with him, not in the stands. He was in the home end, obviously, and I was in the away end. But here are his thoughts.
What a load of sh**.
Yep, thanks so much for that, Glenn. Hard luck, mate, but ultimately the better side won. So, yes, thanks so much for watching. You can also follow AFC Bournemouth on Facebook and Twitter. The URLs are here. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with anyone you think would find it interesting. Because I really do want this channel to grow, and it would be great to get it amongst more AFC Bournemouth fans, more contributing for the Have Your Say section and so on. I also write for Yahoo Sport about AFC Bournemouth, and the link to my latest post can be found in this video's description, so please do check that out. It's basically about how this win can be a turning point in our season for the better. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. A great result, great weekend. It's matches like that make you happy that you follow Bournemouth, but also follow football. So yeah, thanks again so much for watching, and up the cherries in all departments.